Leicester City, inexplicably, the greatest Cinderella story of all time in sports. There is many arguments that may arise for one-off games. I know there's one that is emerging throughout. It's a Miracle on Ice, I believe. Great story.
Do you believe in miracles?
But
Yes!
the Mighty Ducks, great story.
That's a great story.
But this is a season-long run of a team clawing themselves out of relegation to go on and win the English Premier League.
It's
And
not
for
even
me,
close.
I am obviously clearly biased in the world of football, but there is just no way I can comprehend any other argument when it comes down to the fact that it's trending worldwide. I have people asking me, what is this Leicester that I see? And I'm just like, remember the name. Remember it. We witnessed greatness. I will never forget yesterday. I wasn't even in Leicester. I wasn't even in the United Kingdom, but I will never forget just watching everything unfold. I'll never forget the chills that I got when I seen this. This is the Leicester players literally having a party at Jamie Vardy's house.
Yeah, they were just
Couldn't have went any better. Take a look at their reaction when they found out they won the league. Doesn't get old, does it?
Yeah, it really doesn't. There's a few things with this one that I find unbelievable. One, I'm really looking forward to Saturday against Everton because it's at King Power Stadium. And as much as, look, like as the one thing I've learned more about world football than anything else is it's a fans game. There's a business side to it, but it is more for the fans than any sport I think I've ever seen. So to see a stadium full of fans who probably, it was a joke, they would say. I'm sure in the bars it would be like, this is the year we're going to make the top 8. This is the year we're going to win the Premier League. And they laugh about it. But now they're actually going to sit there in their seats as champions of the Premier League, an English title. And look, there's been, 6 English Premier League champions total?
Yeah.
Including them?
Yeah, since the reform of the Premier League.
There's the Manchester Uniteds of the world. There's the Manchester Cities. There's the Arsenals. And Chelsea. It's the same thing. Year after year after year. It's one of the teams that spends 200-something million, 300, 400 million pounds a year. And now you have this Leicester City team who defied so many odds. And I'm going to get to some of the sportsbook stuff later because it actually is going to change sports betting for good.
No doubt. And I mean, and this is why people will laugh when we were talking about it yesterday, when I get emotional when I talk about something like this. But this is why we love sports. Why would we, and you mentioned the clear point I wanted to highlight, Jason, is, yeah, looking at the picture of the players and how ecstatic they were, and the joy almost moved me to tears how ecstatic they were. But it was the fans, man. I spent 3 hours of my day yesterday just looking through every single piece of news that I could find on the fans in the stadium. You're right. Fans, what draws fans in to watch their team is hope, right? You always want to have hope. Even if your team is in dire circumstances. Like Celtic are, for me, not in the best circumstance when it comes to the Scottish Premier League. But I don't even know what I would do if Celtic were to go on to achieve, like when we almost won the UEFA Cup, at that point, very prestigious tournament. It still gives me chills thinking back to how the fans rallied together. I just can't imagine what it would have been like to be a Leicester fan at that, to live and breathe from a club, by the way, who are often overlooked. Like their adversity coming up against relegation is one thing. They nearly went into liquidation. Their club was almost no more. Then they found their way back into the footballing world. They managed to rally together. They brought in players who themselves had faced adversity. You see the likes of the post from Fuchs, the post from Danny Simpson, who are all saying that many people didn't believe in their talents. So they grabbed a group of survivors, basically, pulled them together. They survived literally on the last day, near enough, pulled themselves out into 17th, and then they go on and win the league. It couldn't be a better story to tell. I will always remember this story. I don't care what happens in the future. I'll go back, tell kids, grandkids that we were watching. I was involved in some form of sports media when Leicester City won.
When they went from worst to first.
Went from worst to first. And there's nothing else that can beat that. So, away from the sappy stuff, let's get
we
to
have
the
some
fun
stuff. One, Gary Lineker. This is great. So, he said in the beginning, around December of 2015, if Leicester wins the league, he'll do match of the day, the first match of the day of next season, 2016-2017, in his undies, and he's serious about it.
Is that dead serious?
He's been confirming it on Twitter. That was back in December. He said it again in March. The results tonight seems to be some sort of conspiracy to get me in my undies, bring it on, and even most recently, he is saying on Match of the Day and some of the other platforms I saw that he's going to do it, which I love the poll, like, how do you feel about Gary Lineker going in his underwear? And it's like awkward, excited, amusing. It's like people don't know which way to vote. But what an awesome thing if they let him do it. If the broadcast is like,
they'll do it.
Well, that's amazing.
There's no way they won't. Like, Gary Lineker's the face of Match of the Day. I love that program. One of the
for Americans, really quick, it would be like if Charles Barkley did NBA on TNT in his underwear.
Yeah, it's one of the last, for me, standing British broadcast shows on football that I just cannot not watch. There's many other skewed.
I actually watched an episode recently.
Yeah, you got to watch it.
Solid
If you can find it on YouTube, you got to watch it. Alan Shearer's usually a pundit on it. They had Ian Wright a few times, and Gary Lineker, who historically is a fantastic English striker, he went on to achieve great things in the game. But he was a Leicester diehard since he was born. He's a Leicester diehard fan, and he is just as emotional as everyone else. And he vowed that he'll do a show in his underwear.
I just like that's the reward for his longtime fandom is like I'm gonna do a show in my underwear.
If Celtic make it to the latter stages of the Champions League, which is
semis,
the quarters, I'll do a full show in undies and tank top.
Write it down. May 3rd
Remember the day, this is what Leicester have inspired. They've inspired greatness for this. So let's roll through some of the more reactions we have.
Yeah, so I want to go. So the Geordie posted on Facebook one of these great things. So I'm going to summarize this quickly. So this guy, Jason Giovanni Cosme, posted on Facebook this long, really poetic way, starting the season 5,001 odds to win the league. And being in the third tier of English football, hats off to this team and all the fans. This is for the small, the inferior, the downright meaningless and forgotten. This one is for you, Leicester City champions. His girlfriend responded. Go to the next one. I have a nice arrow on it. I wish you were as poetic about a relationship as you are about Leicester City winning the EPL.
Standard. And we'll move from this, Jason, on to Francis Maxwell's very own tweet as well. We'll throw it in post where I posted, babe, we did it. We won, and just as the ultimate Buzz Killington, my great girlfriend responds, "You're not even a Leicester fan." It's like the guy from Mean Girls. The guy from Mean Girls. He doesn't even go here.
That's very true. All right, now really quick to the end because the Telegraph ran a great article about how this actually affects sportsbooks. For one, it is the single most expensive payout for a sportsbook in British betting history because it was 5,001 odds. For the few punters bold enough to put cash on the season's, quote, joke bet, the results mean winning of up to £100,000 each. Though the nation's bookmakers will be paying less than Jubilant, between them they will be paying out £25 million, the biggest loss in British history on a single sporting market. Just to put this in context, the company's spokesperson, David Williams, said the 5,001 odds offered on the team winning the league will never be repeated after it cost the nation's bookmakers, again, a record $25 million. For a 5,001 shot to emerge as a winner is absolutely off the charts in betting terms. Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson was 50-1 in 1990. And that was the same as saying Leicester's going to win the Premier League. So you'll never see 5,001 odds, at least from some British sports books, because you can never say never. I think Aston Villa, if they can't survive relegation, there's it might be like Newcastle, I think right now is like 700-1.
To what?
To win the Premier League next year.
Interesting.
Or any of the teams getting promoted, I think are also like 1,000-1. But don't go out and make that bet just because Leicester won this year.
That's the thing to wrap this clip up is that's what it's going to do. That's what it's going to do is people now are inspired by hope. Why can't my team do this? Why can't they go and do it? Like there's no reason. There is no reason. I bet you the amount of people that put the lottery on last night was just through the roof. Like, Leicester won the Premier League. Anything can fucking happen. We're going to go forth and do it. So, quite literally, to end, the best way to state it is Leicester winning the league broke the internet, but it quite literally changed the world in the way we will see the game, in the way that bookies will see the game, because they are shiting themselves of anything like this ever happening again. So make sure to let us know what you think in the comment section below. Leicester City, just a dream story that we are so glad to bring you throughout the season. We'll make sure to give you plenty more content that goes forward. One last time, Jason, up top for the Foxes.